Welcome back. This is Reggie speaking about healing America's narratives. We're going to tie up chapter 9 in this video. We're speaking about the polarization of the United States and its woke and cancel cultures. And just to bring that full circle in a larger perspective, I want to speak a little bit about adulthood. Many of us who've qualified, at least chronologically, and to be considered adult citizens of the United States, don't behave as good or even adequate role models for our children. And because of that, our prospects for growing into wise or even moderately competent elders are actually pretty bleak in this country. So this inadequacy and this bleakness are often I want to say complemented, but also exacerbated by cleverness, facility with language, and an above average disregard for evidence-based truth. And even what I refer to as its close cousin, truthfulness, which is another word for honesty, which means to, someone who recognizes his or her own past mistakes, owns them, and moves forward, because none of us does anything without making mistakes. But someone who practices truthfulness or honesty is able to own them, and preferably out loud. So whether we're 21 years old, 81 years old, when we resort to name calling, outright lies, distortion, sweeping generalizations, manipulation, and various forms of bullying, of which canceling is one, we're typically trying to win some finite game, some immediate thing that we want. And in doing that, we limit ourselves and we limit the size of the arena, the playing field, for those who come after us. There's a wonderful quote from the late runner and medical doctor and was the medical editor of Runner's World magazine, George Sheehan, who once wrote, "Just because you're winning doesn't mean you're doing things right." And that applies across and beyond the political spectrum for us here in the third decade of the 21st century in the United States. So I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, this will bring to a close this chapter that's entitled Polarized, Woke, and Canceled, Bullied, Woke, and Canceled in the Polarized States of America. Beginning in the next episode, we'll take a look at chapter 10, which is how one person, in my estimation, embodies all of the 9 shadow traits of the United States. And he's a perfect example for how not to be as an adult. Again, this part is fact-based opinion coming from me. So I'll see you in the next episode.